Supernatural family, welcome to season 13, where everything is feeling pretty bleak and yet I'm very excited about it. Why do things feel bleak? Well, I'm pretty sure I don't have to remind you, but when season 12 ended, Crowley and Castiel were dead and Mary was trapped in the apocalypse world with Lucifer. And then there's the little problem of Lucifer's son, existing. Speaking of Jack, that's where the season picks up. After Jack mistakenly thinks Sam is his father, you wish kid, Dean leaves Castiel's side to head inside and figure out what's going on, and it doesn't take him long to learn that shooting at Jack is not a good idea. The second Dean fires a shot, Jack's eyes light up and he somehow suspends the brothers in midair before throwing them backward and knocking them both out. They don't wake up until it's light outside and only after Dean has a nightmare about Mary once again burning on the ceiling. Together, Sam and Dean set off to find Jack, who either can't teleport or hasn't learned how yet because he's currently walking naked through the drive-thru at a fast food restaurant, where he attempts to order a father off the menu. Probably not the weirdest order they've heard. Some poor kid working inside calls his mother, who happens to be the local sheriff, and she arrives to take Jack to the station. There, they dress him in clothes from the Lost and Found, where apparently, someone were really into the whole Western vibe. The sheriff then attempts to question Jack, which obviously doesn't go well. All the guy knows is that his mother is in heaven, which the sheriff needs to write down as if it's a helpful tip, and that he's trying to find his father. As for what he remembers, Jack says he remembers when the bad woman burned, which I believe was Dagon. Regardless, the sheriff decides to take his thumbprint, which gets her nowhere, while her son tries to figure out exactly how high Jack is. When asked what he's on, Jack responds, "I'm on a chair, on the floor, on the planet Earth." And you know what, he's not wrong. But Jack swears he's not stoned. He's just hungry. Also something a stoned person would say. While all this is happening, two angels are hunting Jack, and Sam and Dean are doing their best to beat them to him. But the brothers are already disagreeing on what to do once they find him. Dean's plan is simple: they kill Jack and then they figure everything else out. As for CA's, Dean is sure that he's really dead this time. Pulling up to Pirate Pete's Jolly Treats, the fast food restaurant where Jack ordered the healthiest thing on the menu, Sam walks in and gets the intel they need while Dean takes a walk and returns with bloody knuckles and a solemn attitude. Needless to say, he's not in the mood to talk to the drunk girl in desperate need of fries when he returns to the car. Thankfully, Sam interrupts them and tells Dean to head to the police station. There, Jack is discovering the many wonders of the world, starting with nougat. Apparently part of being a Nephilim means using your powers to get free candy out of vending machines. Sign me up. At once Angel Radio starts hurting his head, he accidentally uses his powers to hurt the sheriff. Before he can do any more damage, Sam tases him. However, when the sheriff rounds the corner, she throws both Sam and Jack in a cell while Dean explains to her that monsters are real and so are angels, and half angels, and pretty much everything. Next, a funeral for Castiel. Page 2. Meanwhile, Sam gets to talk to Jack, who apologizes for his actions. Sam, ever the academic, wants to know how Jack can speak English considering he's not even a day old. Jack explains that Kelly taught him. "I was her," he says. But when it comes to his powers, he doesn't have any answers. Things happen when he gets scared and he can't control them. However, he does remember creating the rift, though he has no idea if he could do it again. All he knows is that he needs to find his father, Castiel, who will protect him. Wait, what? In Jack's mind, Castiel is his father, the one person his mother said would keep him safe. Safety is also the reason he's a teen and not a baby or a child. The world is a dangerous place. So, where's his father? He's dead, Sam explains. Just then, two angels and the drunk girl, who turns out to be an undercover angel, show up at the police station looking for Jack. Side note, wouldn't it be great if we lived in a world where all annoying drunks were just undercover angels? So while Sam and Dean fight off a couple of angels, drunk girl manages to send an angel blade into Jack's chest. But considering that she just got done telling Dean that Jack can do almost anything, she shouldn't be surprised that he pulls the angel blade out of his own chest. That's right, Jack is perfectly fine after being stabbed. And not fine in a typical teenager way. He's really fine. After witnessing that, Sam proposes that they take Jack back to the bunker with them, and Dean agrees. But not because Dean likes the kid. Dean sees this as an opportunity to keep an eye on Jack until they find a way to kill him. Besides, the only people he can hurt in the bunker are Sam and Dean. But before they head home, they stop by the house where Jack was born to burn Castiel's body. Sam tries to stop Dean, proposing that God might be able to bring him back, but it's then that we learn how Dean got those bloody knuckles back at the fast food place. While Sam was inside, Dean walked around back and reluctantly prayed for Chuck's help. Chuck says Earth would be fine if it had Sam and Dean, but Dean tells him, it's not. And we're not. We've lost everything, and now, you're going to bring Em back. Dean asks Chuck to bring back CA's mom, and even Crowley, because after everything you've done, you owe us. But when Chuck doesn't respond, Dean loses his cool and punches the door before trying with one last, please help us. And when nothing happens, Dean declares that God's not listening. So, after taking one final look at Castiel, the boys give him a hunter's funeral and burn his body as Dean says goodbye to everyone they lost, even Mom, whom Dean believes Lucifer killed the second he realized they were trapped. She's gone. They're all gone, a hopeless Dean says. But when we flash to Apocalypse World, we discover that Dean is wrong. Lucifer almost kills Mary, but then, at the last second, decides he needs her. So this should be fun. Altogether, this episode served mostly as an introduction to Jack, whom I'm liking so far, but the end is what really brought it home for me. From Dean's prayer through the funeral, we're reminded just how well this show handles emotion. Both Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki are so understated and so very good in those moments, and I'm so happy the show let the brothers have that moment of reflection and, frankly, despair. And I can't wait to watch them bounce back from it all. What did you think of the episode? Hit the comments below, or find me on Twitter at @SamHiPhil.